that ongoing strike in Philadelphia significantly impacting essential services. The city and union workers are back at the negotiating table. ABC's Olivia Rubin joins us with the sticking points for both sides. Good morning, Olivia.
Morning, Stephanie. This strike has now stretched into its sixth day. Day 6, that's a long time. And despite these ongoing negotiations, there still doesn't seem to be any progress on a deal.
This morning, trash continuing to pile up on the streets of Philadelphia as negotiations between the city and its largest blue-collar workers union remain deadlocked.
Everybody is upset.
So if you guys don't know, trash workers or sanitation workers in the city of Philadelphia have been on strike, and trash is piling up everywhere across the city. Now, allegedly, the Mayor Cherelle Parker has given herself a 9% raise, and the sanitation workers are looking for a larger raise than what they've been offered, but that has not happened. So what they have said is, we're not going to pick up the trash. Now, again, 6 days without picking up the trash is a lot, and you can imagine how bad it must smell in certain sections of the city.
And everybody's dumping their trash here.
Both sides heading back to the negotiating table this weekend for the first time in days, but still no new agreement to end that strike. Workers taking to the streets once again. That union, known as AFS-CME District Council 33, representing over 9,000 workers, including some of the city's most critical, including trash collectors and 911 dispatchers.
Damn. So I'm not trying to be down bad or nothing, but imagine in Philadelphia, y'all know how Philadelphia is that crime. So if 911 dispatchers can't take those calls, imagine what is going down in these streets.
Now, some of those essential employees have been off the job for nearly a week after walking off on Tuesday at 12:01 a.m., calling for better wages.
Shut it down!
There's no indication on how close the sides are. In negotiations earlier this week, the union seeking a 5% pay increase each of the next 3 years.
Our place right now is 555 over the course of 3 years.
The city's mayor, Cherelle Parker, saying she's offered more than a 13% pay increase over her 4-year term, calling it, quote, historic, but also warning there is a limit to how far she will go.
I will not put the fiscal stability of the city of Philadelphia in jeopardy for no one.
But pressure on the city mounting.
But wait a minute. She gave herself a 13% raise. Now, by the way, Cherelle Parker is the first female mayor of Philadelphia. I believe she went to Lincoln University, which is the HBCU, so shout out to her. But again, here we have another black female mayor in a black city that's having a lot of issues.
Celebrity performers LL Cool J and Jasmine Sullivan backing out of the city's 4th of July celebration, saying they're standing with the workers.
There's absolutely no way that I could perform, cross a picket line and pick up money when I know that people are out there fighting for a living wage.
You know it's bad when LL coming out there saying he not gonna perform. He's standing with the city. Shout out to LL, always a real one.
Obviously, this is the topic that's on everyone's minds today. How will the city dispose of my trash if there's a work stoppage? If there is a work stoppage, the Department of Sanitation will be operating in what we refer to as a modified capacity. There will be no residential trash collection or recycling effective Tuesday, July 1st. We encourage residents and we ask you to please refrain from placing any trash or recycling out for curbside collection until further notice. In addition, we are arranging 63 temporary drop-off locations around Philadelphia where our residents can bring their trash in the event of any work stoppage. And we will clearly and specifically list every location where the public can take their trash.
I mean, I get that, Mayor, and that sounds pretty good, but it's an embarrassment. Like one of the top 10 biggest cities in the country have a strike because of sanitation workers and you're getting a raise. I mean, again, this is bad on black leadership. Again, Brandon Johnson, terrible. Eric Adams on his way out. Tiffany Hinyard out. Cherelle Parker. I mean, I don't know what it is, man. It's like a lot of black politicians, especially black female leadership politicians. I hate to say this, people are getting tired of y'all, all right? Black leaders in general, but now we're seeing black female politicians in particular. And people got in the comment section, family, and it was bad. Now, the comments about the mayor were insane, okay? It was really, really bad. Is one of the drop-off locations her house? This person goes, drop-off is at her house now. Now, remember, these are not black residents that are, commenting here. There's no excuse not to provide a pay raise of 9%. Now, remember, they only want 5%. This person here, we bring in right to City Hall till you fix it. That's Ranisha. Novali says, why does she make $260,000 a year when the people who make this city livable make nothing? So City Hall is where we drop off trash, right? Or trash off. Who let Tyler Perry be the mayor of Philadelphia? Damn, now they're getting personal. She gave herself a 9% raise in 1 year, yet can't give the hardworking employees a decent raise. Terrible self-serving human. And of course, again, unfortunately, you see this a lot in black Democratic leadership. These are the people y'all vote for. Y'all just don't realize it until it's too late. Brian says, why don't you just give them their money and avoid all of this? Other person goes, please stop taking raises and pay the employees. I agree. Other person goes, perks of being a sanctuary city.
So the mayor of Philadelphia, that black woman, she got some real problems. She gave herself a 9% raise, but she only gave sanitation workers a 3% raise. They said, don't play with us. She said, hell with you. So they went on strike July 1st. And the landfill is full with garbage. Everywhere full of garbage now. So you know what the mayor said? She said, I'm going to give you 50 spots where you can put the garbage at parks and everywhere in Philadelphia. This is terrible. I mean, this is crazy. Shapiro, you need to step in. This woman has lost her mind. You mean garbage and trash everywhere for the 4th of July, the holiday season, the weekend season? This woman has lost her mind because she wanted to make more money than anybody else. And she's a black woman. I don't agree with trash everywhere. Ma'am, you need to do something. How about you do your damn job? How about you get sanitation workers to work and clean up the city of Philadelphia, which is a beautiful city, but right now it is messed up in trash. I only report the news, but ma'am, you are wrong. You are wrong.
All right, and let me just say this, okay? I never been to Philadelphia, but I have some friends that live there and that visited there. And let me just say this. This is no shot at the city of Philadelphia. Brother love Philly, but Philadelphia historically is not known as the most spotless or cleanest city anyway, right? It's kind of like New York City or whatever. It's kind of already known for being a city that is not the most well kept, all right? And it has that stereotype about Philadelphia. So the last mayor in Philadelphia, he already said that he wouldn't even want to come back. He wasn't even going to run. He was tired of Philadelphia, all the crime and then all of this. And so you have a whole bunch of people living in that city. And now with the trash thing, but I mean, Brandon Johnson got a raise. Cherelle Parker got a raise. And I just don't get it, because if you're a good mayor, you would get so much money on the back end anyway. Like, why do you need a 13% raise? It is just so much better to say, I'll take a 3% raise, because if you're a good mayor, you'll get reelected again. You'll get opportunities for business on the back end. It's just like a professional athlete. Look at somebody like Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. Tom Brady was never the person to take the most amount of money. He wanted to keep winning. And then he would end up getting his money from Brandales down the road. Patrick Mahomes, they use the same strategy, not trying to stress the team's salary cap out. And this is something I think the mayor should do by setting the example of good leadership. And clearly we do not see that.
I didn't know that they want to put a dumpster out here. I live on this side of the corner of the house right here. But I take care of all of this right here, because I cut the grass and I'm the block captain on this block here. By them throwing trash out here, they're making it more worse than what it is, because they're going to draw rats rats and all kinds of rodents that's out here. And I think, excuse me, sir, don't throw that on my side of the fence, please. I'm trying to get it from there. Don't throw that. Throw it over here somewhere. Don't throw it on my fence. This ain't gonna do nothing but draw rodent and rats and all kinds of insects that come around here. And it's gonna be bad for me because I got rats already in the house running around. And I don't think that's right. I blame parking administration of having it because they didn't say nothing about no dumpster. They should at least put it somewhere where there's not a lot of resident people living around here or close by, because like I said, once they get by all of this, who's going to take all of this trash? Once the strike is over, who's going to who's going to take all of this?
It's too much. It's different from taking it from the house to the front door, front pavement, then walking all the way around the corner, 2-3 blocks with a big bag this high, just to dump it in the dumpster. That's bad. That's real bad, and it stinks.
Now, I didn't even consider the rats. Okay, I lived in DC before, and I could tell you, some of them rats look like grown ass cats. Like, it was bad. DC rats is crazy, and on the East Coast, y'all rats is different. So, y'all rats, I'm from Cali, we don't got rats like that. Y'all that, them people that live on the East Coast corridor, y'all rats is vicious and they working with something. So imagine the rats is really having a field day out here right now. And then I'm gonna tell you like this, no shade to Uganda, I'm in a third world country. Listen to when I say this, okay? Where I live at, and the worst part, don't look like this. This is America. It don't look nowhere near this. Trust me, I done seen, I seen cows on the road in Kampala. I done seen goats on the road. I done seen sheep on the road. I never seen Kampala look like this. In the worst places, okay? And it's poverty here and everything. It ain't never looked like this. Where I live, it ain't never looked this bad. And Uganda could be, kind of disorganized with some of their services, but completely can never look like this.
It make you stink when all the stuff bustling. Miss Parker, Cherelle Parker to be exact. You're out of pocket. Get them people their money. It's summertime. The trash stinks. And you worried about budgets. Your pockets is cool. Get them people their money so they can go to work. And that's all I have to say.
Bro was down bad out there.
Filling our cars with garbage, Cherelle Parker. Okay? No one wants to do that. For those of y'all who don't know, the mayor of Philadelphia just asked the entire population of Philadelphia, every single city resident, to scab against the union. Because right now, the trash men are on strike. Yeah, it's actually a pretty big union that has more than just trash men, but the big one, their big bargaining chip, is that they are the sanitation workers union. And right now, they're in a labor dispute with the 100th mayor of Philadelphia, Cherelle Parker. Some of y'all might know Cherelle Parker as the mayor that tried to sell an entire Philadelphia neighborhood to a billionaire so he could build a arena that nobody wanted. Well, now Cherelle Parker, after giving herself a raise, after expanding her executive team with 6-figure salaries, is now demanding that sanitation workers and other city employees should not get raises, should not have cost of living increases, and instead should just accept the bullshit she wants to offer. And while they're in the middle of their negotiation, while they're in the middle of their argument, they said, hey, July 1st, we're going on strike. We're the trash men. We're not picking up the trash. You don't want to pay us? We're not going to pick it up. And then she said, well, the city of Philadelphia will just set up trash pickup sites throughout the city. We'll have areas, designated areas for Philadelphians to throw the trash. I don't know if you've ever been inside your own city.
I think the cost of living raise she wanted to give was 3%, and they wanted 5%, but she gave herself a 13% raise in her own cronies.
But we already have trash nados. We're one of the only cities in America that has little tornadoes of trash. Ask me how I know. Ask me how many hot Cheetos bags have hit me in the middle of the face. And now, instead, you picked 50 spots all over Philadelphia. And what are most of those spots, Cherelle Parker? Public parks. You're going to fill our public parks with garbage.
Whoa, parks. Green spaces, things like that. I mean, this is bad, man. Like, first of all, did she not think that they were not going to just go on strike? And then, like, who is the team that she has basically to say, hey, hey, maybe you should go ahead on and give them the money. I don't know if she's the only person on the negotiating thing with this, but you should move this forward. All right, like, quickly give them what they need.
And then you had the gall. You had the absolute gall to be like, Philadelphians, you should just grab your trash and throw it in your car and drive it to these locations. 30% of Philadelphians don't have vehicles. They don't have cars.
Whoa, I didn't know this. That's right, because Philadelphia, like Chicago, DC, especially Philadelphia, DC, New York, a lot of people use the subway. I think in Philadelphia they call it the L. When I lived in DC, I didn't even need a car because red line, yellow line, green line. Hey, you know, I was all good. You know what I mean? I could just use public transportation. Now, imagine you don't have a car. You might have to take an Uber with your stinking ass trash in it down to the park. Oh my God.
You're asking 480,000 Philadelphia residents to grab a bag of garbage and walk it up to a mile in 90-degree heat and how much humidity, Cherelle Parker? How much? So yeah, you just asked the entire city to scat.
That East Coast humidity hit differently, by the way.
I'm standing with District Council 33. I'm standing with the sanitation workers. I always am going to stand with actual workers because unlike some Philadelphia and Pennsylvania Democrats, John Fetterman, we know who builds this country and who builds this state and who builds Philadelphia. It's union labor all goddamn day.
Y'all to make this dude the mayor. Black Philadelphia, my heart goes out to you. Philadelphia in general, but guys, what do you think? Subscribe, hit the bell for the episode of Fair Use.